When you say the two words together, super agent, you can't say those without talking about Leigh Steinberg. It is a pleasure to meet you. And is there any chance I can get you to call my bosses and negotiate a quick deal for me?
You mean like a deal where every day that ends in the letter Y, you don't need to work?
Ooh, and I still get paid? I mean, if you can get that done, super agent goes to super agent.
We'll give it a try.
Leigh, we love that you're here because we have Peyton Manning playing in the Super Bowl. Why is he so marketable? What about Peyton Manning? Like, as an agent, do you look at him and go, "Oh, Papa John's"? Any client I got Peyton Manning for you.
There is a celebrity machine around this Super Bowl, and he's played in a number of them. And what happens is the week of build-up going into the game. Then if a player performs dramatically, he will benefit from that. If Cam Newton were to play dramatically, he's a fresh face, so the stories are all about Cam Newton this week because Peyton's been ridden and rewritten and ridden, and he's ubiquitous all over television every single second. I think part of why he does well is he's able to read a script well, be a straight man with a little bit of humor, but they design those advertising campaigns to present him to best effect. So if you're an agent, you want to be careful that the lines are cute, they're funny, or they're sincere, and they're something that your athlete can deliver well. So now coming out of this week, what you have is a dramatic player will go into the celebrity making machine, be on all sorts of talk shows, People magazine. So for Cam Newton, he may walk in as a very good quarterback. He'll walk out superstar, name and lights.
So we had Josh Norman, who's on the Panthers. He got in the fight with Odell Beckham Jr. and started talking a lot. Richard Sherman has talked a lot in the past. Is that genuine stuff, or is that a marketing ploy? Josh Norman's going into a contract year. Is he doing stuff like that to get his name out there?
This is the branding place in the United States at this exact moment. People all over the country are interested in the Super Bowl and radio and television that's coming from it. So Richard Sherman was a extremely bright Stanford student. I don't think it was by chance he just went crazy. I am sure that he had thought, if I have a moment, I'm going to take advantage of it. And then if you notice, he was able to readjust his image during Super Bowl week. So he was totally outrageous. He sort of twerked his way into national consciousness, and then he sort of pulled it back the next week. What gets recognized? Dog bites man's not a story. Man bites dog is a story. So I would say there's a fair degree of calculation in that sort of situation.
Now, we're talking about quarterbacks, Peyton, Cam, all that before we got in the corners. Let's talk about your quarterback that you've got coming up, Paxton Lynch, 6'7", 245 pounds. I mean, it's Cam Newton size.
Really, it's the new vogue of quarterbacks. It's Cam Newton, it's Roethlisberger, and it's a big, strong quarterback. The hands of Paxton Lynch are almost a foot long. They're monstrous. And he's got the unique ability to see above the way the other ones can. Don't go down easy. Escape the pocket and scramble around like a much smaller person. Throw on the run and elongate his body on 3rd and 1. So this is a different new wave of quarterback that has been successful, and Cam Newton's sort of leading the way.
You came in at a time when the NFL wasn't the king, and now it is the king. So how has the NFL itself marketed itself to get to this place?
It's if Rip Van Winkle had gone to sleep in 1975 when I began, I mean, let's start with the fact that when I did my first client, Steve Bartkowski, he's the number 1 pick in the draft, teams didn't have to deal with agents. There was no field of agentry. There was nothing to aspire to. And teams were making $2 million as their share of the national TV contract. Today it's $226 million per team per season. The two franchises that came in 1976, Tampa Bay, Seattle, had a purchase price of $16.5 million. Today the Dallas Cowboys are valued at $4 billion. We have 45 million people playing fantasy football. We have the growth of these revenue-producing stadia with jumbo boxes, luxury, premium seating, the ability for big sponsorship, signage, naming rights. So it's morphed from a sport that was in the shadow of baseball when I started to become the dominant American passion. It's not only the most popular sport, it's the most popular televised form of entertainment.
That's an interesting thing that I picked up from that is you're primarily NFL. There's a lot of money to make in Major League Baseball with players.
No, we had previously we had 60 baseball players.
Okay.
So we had CC Sabathia, Adam Dunn, Sean Green, Matt Williams, a whole series of players. But my baseball partner, Jeff Morad, decided he wanted to buy a team, and he ended up being a minority owner of the Diamondbacks, and then he went over to and owned the San Diego Padres.
Now, you have a big old party going on. You're going to host your 29th annual Leigh Steinberg Super Bowl party this Saturday in San Fran. Tell me a little bit about that, and if I can delay my flight, maybe I can get an invite.
We would be happy to have you come. It's we do it every year. It's the 29th, but we give humanitarian awards to an NFL owner, to a executive, to a coach for service off the field. It's a mix of NFL owners, execs, coaches, loads of players, retired players, journalists, political figures, and we raise money for all the charities that the athletes are involved in. And so there's a good cause to it, and it's a daytime party. You can actually talk in an acceptable level and meet people, and we have loads of things to do and interact with, and so it's the motif will always be the city we're in, the food, the ambience, the music, all that.
104.5 The Team live on Radio Row in San Francisco with super agent Leigh Steinberg. You have been a big proponent of the NFL getting back into Los Angeles. Now that it's happening, how do you feel like this will actually benefit the league? Seeing as how they felt like they had to leave before. Why will it work this time?
When the Rams decided to leave in 1994, they just wanted to leave. And in the years preceding that, they really didn't do anything in terms of community involvement. They started creating a desert so they could justify the move. They've already sold 50,000 season ticket orders. Los Angeles has 18 million people in it. And part of the reason the Rams justify coming back is they were there for 50 years. I fell in love with football due to that. We have massive amounts of corporations. We have massive amounts of entertainment industry, people that will buy everything new. And the Rams have had a big following for years and years. So I think that it will be... I was chairman of Save the Rams in 1994. Georgia Frontieri left for this amazing upfront payment of, wait for it, $30 million. And that was the world to her then. And now it's sort of pocket change.
$550 million just to move.
Exactly.
Should there and will there be a second team again in Los Angeles?
I believe that the Chargers will come next year. I wish they would stay in San Diego. I don't favor moving teams around and breaking fans' hearts. But the dysfunction between the city and the team is a real barrier. And the second thing is this has never been about fan loyalty. It's about franchise value and big stadia prices. It's about the stadiums and it's about franchise value. So the Chargers would probably double their franchise value with the size of the LA market, and they'd play in a state-of-the-art revenue-producing stadium. So I just can't see how they work it out with San Diego. I wish they would, but I don't see how they will.
Well, Leigh Steinberg joins us, and before I let you go, SteinbergVentures.com.
So we put together a venture fund to fund projects in sports-themed technology, in new stadia. And here comes Bruce Smith.
Good to see you.
You coming to our party Saturday?
I'll stop by. I'm catching the red eye out, but I'll stop by.
Okay.
Bruce is joining us tomorrow, by the way.
Oh, good.
That's awesome.
I had 2 Hall of Fame Bills, he and Thurman Thomas.
We love them both.
You have a great relationship with your clients. I mean, this is the first time we've had a chance to talk to you, so I have to ask. Jerry Maguire, the movie, based on you, and who's your favorite client? Like, how do you have that relationship? Can you pick a favorite, or are they like your kids?
No, but what happens is each new year there's a new draft class.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks agenting is about suasion. It's actually about good listening skills. It's about allowing someone the space to peel back the layers of the onion and reveal their deepest anxieties and fears and their greatest hopes and dreams. So if you can plug in a deep emotional way with a client, it's like having a best friend. That connection is just there. And Bruce played for 19 years, okay? Warren Moon played for 23 years. It's like we grew up together.
It's insane. It's so great. And then just to see the guys come over and hug you and pay their respects and say thank you. And it's just very, very cool. Leigh Steinberg, super agent right here on 104.5 The Team. Leigh, I know you got a line of people waiting to talk to you, so I just want to say thank you so much for your time. And, wow, very, very cool to talk to you.
My pleasure.